Hello, hello, hello. How are you? Jamaicans.com. I have two cameras that I'm talking into right now. So we have our Instagram folks and our Facebook folks. But happy Sunday, everyone. How are you? I hope you had a wonderful week. I am Maxine Reyes. I am your host of Courage and Grace. And today we're going to talk about self confidence. And I'm going to give you 5 tips of increasing self confidence. But first, let me say happy International Women's Day to all the ladies out there who are blazing their trails, just working hard, trying to do well, and trying to set the example, lead the way for the young girls to come, and doing well at home, in their community. Kudos to you guys, and hello, hello, hello. Congratulations for all of my sisters today who are leading the way and helping others in their community to rise. And that's what Courage and Grace is all about, is going forth with all your skills, using your skills, and lifting others while you rise. Just blazing the trail wherever you are, in whatever career fields you are working in, and helping others, lifting them up while you rise to the top of your industry in your entrepreneurship journey, or if you are a CEO at corporate or anything like that. So welcome, welcome, welcome. Thank you very much for tuning in, and please let me know where you're tuning in from. So drop your city, your country in the comments so I'll know who is joining me, okay? So we have 5 tips we're going to give, but I want you to be a part of this as well. So I'll give you some tips, but I want to hear from you as far as how to increase self-confidence, how you increase your self-confidence. Hello, Norma from Maine. I see Lorraine Tracy Phillips watching. Thank you so much. Let me know where you're from, where you're tuning in from, and let me know also different ways that you have helped to boost your own self-confidence, or tips that you've given others in boosting their self-confidence. Okay. Hi, Tiffany from Orlando. Thank you for joining. Oh, I need to let you guys know where I'm tuning in, where I'm actually recording from. I'm here in Tampa, Florida. So Central Florida is representing. We have lovely Lily from Nova Scotia. Thank you for joining. Valerie Will from Connecticut, and Tiffany from Maryland. So I'm going to go ahead and start. I know people are going to start coming in, and I will definitely give you your kudos whenever I can, but I don't want to have everyone waiting. So let's go in and start with tip number 1. So tip number 1 that I have used in increasing my self-confidence is confronting your fears. Confronting your fears, okay? There's been so many times that I've been faced with obstacles and challenges. And if you guys don't know, I did 22 years in the military. So I had to confront some fears and overcome them to get my job done, to accomplish the mission. And so confronting my fears was one of them. I had to do several training, but I'll definitely mention one that stands out in my head, is land navigation. So you get some tools to go out and find different points in land navigation. And if you're scared of animals like boars and deers and all that, be ready to face those animals. And so I remember being out in training, and it was like 2 a.m. So it's dark, and there are people out there, but I didn't have, a battle buddy like near me, because sometimes we go out together in twos, but then we have to go off on our own to find each point. And so I remember going to one point after finding 4, and I needed 1 more. And would you believe it? I heard a sound. So there are people out there trying to find their own points, but then I heard the sound of a boar. Okay. And I'm from Jamaica. I'm used to cows and goats and chickens and dogs and cats. Yeah, that's pretty much, and donkeys, right? But I'm not used to boars. And so I remember hearing it, and it was very close, and I looked straight ahead where my point was, and guess what? The boar was right there. And so I had to think about the quickest way that I can move away from it without it chasing me. And so I just stepped back. Step back, and while I kept my eyes on that thing, and it was crazy. It was a moment where I had fear, but I'm like, I have to overcome that fear, confront the fear of facing that boar and find my way out of there so I can be safe. And they tell you not to run, but God knows I was ready to put on my Usain Bolt shoes and bolt out of there. But I'm grateful that it didn't chase me. I just took my time and walked backwards. And then when I felt a safe distance, I started running, and then I got out of there. And I'm grateful that I was able to find my points, and but it was about 1,000 feet away. I still found it, but that story, it was like it's an imprint in my brain of overcoming fear. And I have several more stories I could share, but we're only on tip number 1. So confront your fears. So we have Norma. Oh, thank you she says, thank you for serving. Thank you so much, Norma, for your support. I appreciate you. We have Pauline watching from Nottingham, Maryland. JC from North Carolina. And Tiffany says, Tampa, cool. Yeah. So Tiffany is in Orlando, she says. And I am in Tampa. So please, I'm going to give you the 4 other tips, but please feel free at any time to drop in the comments ways that you've confronted your fear or increased your self-confidence. Okay, so the first thing for me was to confront my fears, and once you can push through fear, you become more confident in whatever it is that you're doing. So the next time I went out to do these the land navigation, I know that next time if I see a boar, I'm not going to be so scared because I overcame that challenge for the first time, right? So the second one is create affirmations. So first of all, confront your fear. Actually, number 2 is believe in yourself. Believe in whatever it is that you're going to be, that you want to do, whatever it is that you desire. You have to first believe, and then you can go to number 3 and create self-affirmations to tell yourself, I'm going to do this, I'm going to do this. So whatever it is, you want to become a singer, you have to tell yourself that, first of all, you need to be able to sing somewhat. Then you can get some lessons to become better. And in order for you to face the audience, you have to get on that stage and sing those songs so you can overcome the fear of being in public or singing in public. Because most of us should know by now that the fear of speaking in public is like the number 1 fear. So yes, I'm talking to you guys too. I keep forgetting that I have another camera over here. But yeah, the fear of speaking in public is like the number 1 fear. And some people rather get hit by a vehicle. They rather cross the road and get hit by a vehicle versus stand up in front of people and speak. And that takes a lot of courage. But once you start doing it, you become better and become more confident. So that's another way to boost your confidence. So number 4 is set attainable goals. So whatever it is that you're doing, you feel to become more confident, you got to set some goals. And once you set those goals, make sure that the goals are attainable. Reasonable timeline, of course. If you want to get something done and it's going to take about 90 days, don't tell yourself that you're going to do it in 30 days. Not saying it's not possible, but you're putting yourself in a situation where you may not be able to complete that goal if it usually takes an average of 90 days and you want to do it in 30 days. Just be ready for some long hours that you got to work and all that. But Tiffany says she does visualizations. Yes, you have to visualize it to definitely to create a plan and then execute it. So visualize it, believe in it, and set your timeline, realistic goals, and all that good stuff. So we did a number 4, and then a number 5. Make sure that you have that, visualize yourself in winning that situation, in becoming, if it's the singer that you want to become, if it's a professor or whatever, you have to take the steps to get there, but you have to envision yourself in that position. And then the little wins that you that occurs while you're getting to the end game or the finish line. You have to celebrate those wins, right? Celebrate those wins. We have Cheryl from Italy and Mary from Miami. Thank you so much for joining. And we're talking about the 5 tips to increase self-confidence, and I'm going to go over them because I did the final one was imagine yourself winning, but then creating different ways to get there. And once you check off what you accomplish, then you have to celebrate those wins. So celebrate the little wins that leads you to the big win, to the end game, to the finish line. Okay, so let me go over those real quick. We have confront your fears, create self-affirmations, set attainable goals, and create a plan. We have create a plan to achieve those goals. Yeah, we said that. Set a attainable goal and envision yourself in that position, and celebrate your wins. Celebrate your wins. So those are the few tips that I have for you. 5 tips to increase your self-confidence. Practice, practice, practice whatever it is that you attain to do and to be. The more you train yourself, the more you execute. You physically, if it's public speaking, if it's singing, whatever it is, if it's becoming that professor or anything you aspire to be, just train yourself, set the goals, create a plan, and just practice, 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 and you'll become better, you become more confident, okay? So thank you guys so much for joining. I have a few more folks that just joined. You probably heard the puppy going at it. I have a few more folks that just joined. I just want to say hello to you guys from London. Carol joined from London. James Morrison from Buffalo, New York. And Tiffany, oh, thank you. Tiffany, thank you. I truly appreciate you. This is my second time doing this on Jamaicans.com. So last week we talked about relationships, and you'll see me talk more about relationships. But because today was International Women's Day, International Women's Day, that's it. We wanted to celebrate you, all the women out there, and also give you some tips on self-confidence, because I know that we set our goals every year. Some people have New Year's resolutions. I just set goals. I don't really have resolutions, but sometimes we need to revisit those goals and then just decide if we want to continue on that route with the goals that we already set, or we have the right to, scratch that and set new goals. So definitely I wanted to come on here and say, hey, you can be confident in whatever it is that you're doing. And if this is a good time to reset those goals and do a vision board of what it is that you want to pursue for 2020. But first you have to confront your fears and then go through the list of, creating your affirmations and setting a plan, creating a plan, set your goals first, and make sure that those the goals that you have are attainable, have a good timeline for it, and celebrate the little wins that leads up to the finish line. Okay? All right, guys, have a great one. Thank you so much for joining. And please drop in the comment box what you'd like to see me talk about next time. I have several topics, but I don't want to go by what I want all the time. I want to go by what you need to hear from me. Okay, so you can go to my website, MaxineReyes.com, and you can read my bio, see my experience, and what you'd like to hear from me. Okay? All right, guys, thank you so much for joining. Remember to do all things with love, courage, and grace, and make happiness last. Talk to you soon. Join me next week, all right? Have a great one. Bye-bye.